Hey everybody, welcome back. Now, I have been playing Pokemon Scarlet and I've been enjoying my time quite a bit. But this is a interesting time for me because I'm trying to become a Pokemon master again, and to do that, I need to catch a lot of Pokemon from a lot of other generations that have not been available for a very long time. Now, in the past, they've had different methods to kind of transfer Pokemon between different generations. Generation one could go to generation two, two could not go to three until like later when they released it on the 3DS, I think. But then you had three and four and five, and you could transfer everything from one game to the other, kind of like a little chain. But you couldn't go directly from Generation 3 to Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, right? So now I'm in a situation where we have the Forever library of the Switch. Nintendo has announced that everything on the Switch will be available in perpetuity, right? So all of these Pokemon games that are being released are going to continue to be able to talk to each other. We have Pokemon Home. The system is very clear. So I don't really have to do what I did in the past and go back and play actual Pokemon Emerald for the GBA and transfer that over and go through every little game. I don't have to do that anymore. So that got me thinking, when are we going to see the remaining Pokemon games remastered and remade for the Switch? So right now, as it stands, generations 8 and 9 are on the Switch. We've had some remakes available on the Switch since, but they're not all available. So if I'm going to make predictions about the Pokemon games coming to the Switch, we should maybe look back at the history of Pokemon games. So it looks like we get a new generation about every 3 to 4 years. If you look at the chart, I'll put a chart up here on the screen so you can kind of look. We have Kanto in 1999, Johto 2001, but then after that, it slowly becomes like a good 3 to 4 year average for a release of a new generation. And then sprinkled in there, we do have some remakes. To me, Johto is like the longest running game. We haven't had a game set in Johto since 2010. So I think that is pretty likely for a new game. Now, they've already remade it once, so they could remake it again, but I don't know how likely that is either, because now they have the Pokemon Legends series. Celebi is kind of rooted in that kind of like mythos. That would be a perfect game for a Legends style remake or revisiting of that region. So right now, I think we have Generation 9. We know we're getting Legends ZA in 2025, and that's going to take us back to Kalos. So Kalos was X and Y. Now we have ZA. We're getting the Z game that we never got in the past, the rumored, famous, canceled Z game, right? So we're going back to Kalos now. So that's going to be available on the Switch. So what else are we missing then? We're missing Johto, Hoenn, Unova, and Alola. Those are all of the regions that are currently missing from the Nintendo Switch. We got Kanto with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. We got Sinnoh with Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and then again with Legends Arceus. So what else? Kalos, we're getting that with Legends ZA. Not a full remake, but X and Y are newer games. Like, I don't know if we need a full remake of those games just yet. I mean, that came out back in 2013, so hasn't been that long yet. Galar, Paldea, those are available on the Switch, native to the Switch. I'm expecting that Gen 10 is going to come out somewhere around 2026. That's going to be a new region, new Pokemon, new shebang, unless they totally demolish the formula, but I don't think they're going to do it. They've been doing this basically my whole life. So we're going to get Gen 10 around 2026. Then I'm thinking a couple years after that, we're going to get Pokemon Legends for Silver, Gold, and Crystal. We're going to get Celebi. We're going to go back in time. We're going to get an old-looking Johto. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a really cool. Out of all of the games, I think that's maybe the one I'm looking forward to the most. Like, to me, that's perfect. Generation 2 was my favorite. So that tracks. That's my prediction. So then after that, I think we have Generation 11 starting sometime in around 2030. And then that's going to bring us back to Unova a couple years after that. That's going to look, again, I think it's going to be another Legends title. Yeah, they could do a remake and port the games forward to the Switch, but I really think they have a good balance here with the mainline generational games where they're very easy. You collect all your Pokemon, and then you have the Legends titles where you can go back, you can revisit things, and you can change things up a little bit and make them harder. So I really think they're going to do that. I think that's going to go back to Black and White. We're going to go to Unova, and we're going to see more about the mythical original dragon of creation. He's split into the Black and White, truth and justice, whatever. We're going to see the original dragon. We always saw what it looked like when you fused one of the dragons with Kyurem, but never all three of them together. So I think that could be cool to get that awesome third form. And then after that, we have Generation 12. That's going to be around 2033, maybe. That's where this gets a little harder. I'm having a hard time deciding whether or not we're going to get an Alola remake or a Hoenn remake. And at that point, it's been quite a while since either one of them. I mean, Hoenn we revisited in 2014, and Alola we revisited in 2016. I think this one is going to be a little bit harder. I mean, Alola does tie a lot into Gen 1 nostalgia, so that could be a possible remake. But I also think Gen 3 has more of a pull because that's one of the original generations. It's got a lot of nostalgia for people. So if I'm going to go out on a limb, I'm going to say with Gen 12, we're going to get a remake of Hoenn. And when I'm saying remake, it could be a remake, it could be a Legends title. I don't really know what a Legends title would look like for Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald. It would be cool to see, like maybe it's just like a Pokemon Legends Emerald, and it somehow it goes back in time. But I don't know. I feel like they already kind of revealed the primal form of everybody in the remakes. So I don't really know what more they could do, like a super mega primal Groudon and Kyogre and Rayquaza. Maybe they focus more on Jirachi, like we go back in time and we get Wishmaker set up and we get to see Groudon and Kyogre in the story in some presence, but it focuses more on Jirachi because that's another thing that they kind of do with these games. Like they make some of the mythical Pokemon available. So that could be really cool. Then we would have Generation 13 around 2038. And then we would be revisiting Alola somewhere around 2040. So we're going to get maybe another Legends title if they're still doing this in 2040. Maybe we're going to find out more about the Ultra Beast. Maybe we'll go to the home of the Ultra Beast. I don't really know. Sun and Moon was good, but I don't have like that's kind of where it started to switch for me, and I started to lose a lot of the appeal of Pokemon, where it's like, okay, you have these Ultra Beasts, like the legendaries are kind of cool, like the Sun and the Moon guy. Necrozma is cool. It's a light base. It's fine with the Ultra Beast. So I think that is kind of a weaker draw for a lot of people. It may be fun by the time it comes around. It's a very lighthearted area and generation, but I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments section below. Am I crazy? How wrong do you think I am with my predictions? Part of this video is just me making this to see how this shakes out in the future. I want to see like, oh, okay, so these were my predictions in year 2025. How did it end up turning out? Was I spot on? Did I freaking nail it because they're that predictable? Or do they totally throw curveball in surprises? Like there have been generations in the past where they released multiple remakes or multiple regions. They've done things before. So there is that element of a curveball. So maybe this can be truncated a little bit. Maybe they surprise us and bring over the 3DS games to the Switch somehow with like a low-level remake or touch-up or something, but I don't know. I don't know how that would look. I mean, the UI for the two screens, I really feel like they'd have to kind of remake it. I'm seeing it now a little bit with Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, but I don't really like how they implemented that. They just put that bottom screen up in the right-hand corner, and it just looks weird. And you can hide it and open it up, but it's like, why do I really need the calculator here? They put it there for a reason in the original game, but I never really felt inclined to use it, especially now when I have a phone in my pocket that has a calculator on it, and just about everybody else does too. So I don't know. These are my predictions. Let me know what you think. I'm very curious. Will my predictions be right? Will they be wrong? I don't really know. By the time all of this plays out, I'll be 46 years old and I'll have the Switch 4 or whatever Nintendo's doing at that time. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. That's all I got for today. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe. Until next time, I'll see you later. Goodbye.